What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is one and only Cjthecheesedj here, back with some more ARK Insight, and today we're looking at the fidgeting Therinozosaurus who's having a head spasm on our right, and the mighty T-Rex. You feeling alright there, buddy? Look at him. Look, he's just head spazzing him. Alright, so today we're going to be comparing their stats, their health, their stamina, their weight, their melee damage, their movement speed, how many trank arrows it takes to knock them out, their turning radius, as well as how quick they can move. So, without further ado, let's get underway. Now the Rex already has a much larger, well not much larger, about 200 extra health than the Therinozosaurus. The Rex has 1100 health, while the Therinozosaurus only had 900 health. You can see there we go. Yeah, just under 900 health. Now stamina are pretty much the same. Excuse me, Parasite, I'm in the middle of a video. Excuse me, could you please excuse yourself? Anyway, back to the Rex, here we go. So he's got 420 stamina, but his stamina consumption is slightly higher than the Therinozosaurus. Next up, we'll look at their weight. So you can see here their weight of the T-Rex is 500. Now the Therinosaurus only has about 365 weight. So they're pretty, well, the Rex has a bit more carry weight, but he's slightly slower in my opinion than the Therinosaurus. And their melee damage, strangely enough, is exactly the same. They have exactly 125.8 melee damage, which I find slightly strange. And as of course, their movement speed is the same. Now, let's get into looking at their stamina and their movement speed. Alrighty guys. Next up, we tested their speed. Now the Rex, he was pretty fast. He managed to complete the course in 5.94 seconds. As you can see here, he ran from flag to flag in 5.94 seconds. So that's a pretty impressive speed. Now the Rex's stamina, he was able to sustain running speed for 10.59 seconds, which isn't very much. As you see there, we literally ran the course and 5 seconds later, he was out of stamina. That was it. He was done for. So, you know, obviously you're going to have to want to bump these guys' stamina up quite a bit if you're going to need to use them to run long distances, because they're quite slow. Now you can see here his stamina is slowly regenerating as well, which is also slightly a bit of a problem. He doesn't have the greatest stamina regen. Alright, but here we go again. So you can see their stamina depleting slowly, and it just diminishes so quickly like that. Like, just like that, 10 seconds and it's done. And look, and finished. Okay, next up we tested the Therinozosaurus speed. Now the Therinosaurus completed the course within 7.93 seconds. Now that's about 3 seconds longer than the T-Rex completed it, but the Therinosaurus makes up for this with its stamina usage. Now you can see we're still running, and overall the Therinosaurus' stamina speed while constantly sprinting lasted 22 seconds, about just short of 23 seconds. So that's 2 times the amount of stamina that the Rex has. Now, also, don't forget, the stamina on the Therinosaurus is only 300. The Rex has about 420, if I remember correctly, 420 stamina. So the Therinosaurus doubles the amount of runtime it has, whereas the T-Rex only has about 10 seconds of run speed. Now, we're just going to double check the Rex's stamina, just to make sure we're right. Yeah, 420 stamina. So the Therinosaurus is definitely the better long-term runner, as his stamina obviously lasts a lot longer than the T-Rex, up to 2 times the amount, pretty much. Okay, next up we tested the turning radius. So you can see here the Therinosaurus has quite a good turning radius. He's able to cover quite a bit of ground with his turn. Now if we go into sprinting, look how tight that turning radius is. He's very good at turning a Therinosaurus. The Rex has nothing in regards to the Therinosaurus's turning radius. He's just a big hunk of meat walking around in a big circle. Okay, so now we have the T-Rex's turning radius, and you can see here he's not the greatest turner. That's definitely one of his flaws. I mean, turning while walking is great. He's pretty good at turning while walking. However, when it comes to the sprinting, yeah, you can see there he's got quite a big turning radius, much bigger than the Therinosaurus. So, for example, if we try and come around here, you know, he's got a big turning radius in comparison to the Therinosaurus, which is a downside in regards to the smaller dinosaurs that can easily gang up on you and eat you alive, like a pack of saber-tooths or direwolves. So the T-Rex loses points in that category. Next up we tested their melee damage. Now the Rex has a base melee damage of 62 and the Therinosaurus has a base damage of 52. So what we had to do was we had to multiply these by their melee damage stat, which was 125.8. So pretty much what we got was the Rex was slightly stronger than the Therinosaurus, coming in at 77 DPS. As you can see there on the training dummy, that's only damage done to thatch structures. So the training dummy isn't actually accurate for the amount of damage a dino is doing to another dino. So the Rex does a base damage of 77 to other dinos, while a Therinosaurus only does 65 damage, showing that the Rex is stronger by only a small amount, but he's still the stronger dino. We then took a look at their abilities to climb, and pretty much they're both as useless as each other when it comes to climbing. You can see there the Therinozosaurus is getting stuck, and he wasn't able to climb this mountain very well. You can see there it took him a bit, but he eventually gets there and he stops about halfway. So that's for the Therinozosaurus climbing ability. Now if you move around a bit, you can eventually get to the top, but you know, just climbing in that same spot, you won't actually be able to get anywhere. You still have to move. The Rex's climbing ability was pretty much the same, if not a little bit worse. You can see there he slowly gets up the mountainside, just like the Therinozosaurus did. However, once he finds more of a flat surface, he can actually maneuver slightly better than the Therinozosaurus can, due to his big legs being able to just pretty much walk over everything. We then tested their ability to harvest raw prime meat, and I was surprised at how much the Therinozosaurus managed to harvest off a single bronto. So off a single bronto, the Therinozosaurus managed to harvest 9 raw prime meat as shown above, which was pretty impressive in my books. The Rex managed to gather about 12 prime meat off a single bronto, which is also a pretty impressive number. However, this was to be expected since he is the T-Rex. I mean, come on. It kind of makes sense for him to be able to gather much more prime meat. Even though the Therinozosaurus only gathered 9 prime meat, I was still surprised at how well it gathered it. Alrighty, so now we'll cover their special abilities. Now the Rex is very special. He's just got the roar. He's one of the few dinosaurs in the game that do have a roar. And that's it. That's all the Rex is special. That's why he's special, he's just got the roar. The Therinozosaurus, however, has 3 abilities. He's able to harvest wood, as you can see here. He's able to pick fiber from bushes, like so, and he's also able to pick berries from bushes, like that. So this guy is your ultimate gatherer. He will gather everything you need. We then tested the amount of trank arrows it would take to knock out the Therinozosaurus. And for a 900 torpor, the Therinozosaurus took 7 trank arrows to knock out, which isn't that many trank arrows when you think about it. And he was very cute about being knocked out. And this is the first dino that I've seen actually close its eyes when it gets knocked out. It surprisingly only took 10 arrows to knock out the T-Rex, which I was slightly surprised about as he does have a few extra 100 levels of torpor. I think it was about 200 levels of torpor difference, and you can see there he gets knocked out after the 10th arrow. Another side note is that the Therinosaurus' torpor drained a lot faster than the T-Rex, almost being up to 3 times faster than the T-Rex's torpor drain, which is quite a lot, so you'll need a lot of narcotics in order to tame up a Therinosaurus in comparison to a T-Rex. We then made the 2 fight together, and, well, I'll leave the results up to you guys. Here they are fighting each other. Alrighty guys, and as you just saw, the Rex totally wrecked the Therinosaurus. Now the Rex, he came out on top, but just barely. The Rex had about 200 health left. Now the only reason the Rex won was because the Therinosaurus had the slightly lower health, and he did slight knockback damage. And he did a slight knockback to the Therinosaurus. If the Therinosaurus got him from the side, for example, or managed to stay underneath him and keep attacking with his claw attacks, I'm pretty sure the Therinosaurus would have won. And now it's time for my personal opinion, and I'm pretty sure you guys can already guess which one I'm going for. That's right, the Rex, the one that's left standing. Now, the Therinosaurus is cool, don't get me wrong and all that, but he's just a pain in the butt, especially to avoid in the wild. You can't really see them as effectively as the Rex, and just the Rexes are much better powerhouses. You saw there, he's got the larger health pool. He did slightly more melee damage, not that much more. However, he's got the slightly larger health pool, and he's just a mad beast. He just wrecks everything in his path. Yeah, guys, that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which one's your favorite down below. Alrighty, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.